Hello everyone, Novantic here, and with The Walking Dead Telltale Games final season returning next month on the 14th, I have brought some theories along with this video. So first of all, I'm going to say characters I think will return and how, and then after I'm just going to go on one character at a time. So let's do this. So, green is alive, red is dead, gray is undead, blue is unknown, and purple is determinate. Now first is the Everett family. So we have Lee. Now I would give Lee a 95% chance of returning in a flashback. Because while I have watched the trailers and stuff, and I've seen that Clem has, like, kicked the police window, not the police window, but, like, a window on a car, kind of like leaded with a police car, and got a key out of the walker's mouth. So it's just, like, out of all those kind of, like, past things that could be coming back, I feel like Lee could definitely be returning in a flashback. So I give that a 95% chance. B. Everett. I don't think he's going to be... B. Everett will not be returning. Clementine, yes, definitely returning. However, Clem, I feel like, will die. Now, a lot of you guys are probably like, what? Why do you think Clem will die? If you've watched all of the trailers, you would know that Clem... Season 4 trailer of episode 1, Clem looks perfectly fine. She does not look pale at all. But, like, the season 4, episode 4 trailer, Clem looks pretty pale, not to mention she says, what will happen if I die? Which I feel like she's asking, because she goes over survival rules with AJ, and I feel like she's going over them with AJ because she's bitten at that moment. And when it cut it off of the trailer right there, I feel like Clem would reveal a bite. So Clem, I feel like, is going to be dead at the end of season 4, but definitely returning. Ed and Diana, I feel like I'll give them a 10% on returning for, like, voices and things. Because I feel like before Clem dies, she might hear her parent's voice in her head, or, like, have a flashback or something. I feel like they might return the flashback. Clementine's neighborhood. I don't think Andre will return. As much as I like Andre, I don't think he'll be returning. Same with Chet. Green family. Sean is dead, and so is Herschel by the time in the game. Herschel is dead now. Kenny's family. I feel like Katja won't return. Actually, no. I feel like Kenny's family will return in a flashback. Both Kenny, Duck, and Katja. I feel like maybe Kenny I give a 70% chance. Duck I give 50, and Katja I give probably 15. And these are for flashbacks. Of course, Kenny could be returning if you choose the Wellington ending. Macon / Georgia, they're all dead. Carly and Doug, I feel like 400 Days characters might be returning, so some of them might be returning. I feel like they might mention something about seeing either Carly/Doug's body where they got shot. So just pointing that out, that I definitely feel like they could be mentioned. Glenn, I feel like he could also be mentioned because of the walkie-talkie. If Clementine still has the walkie-talkie, I feel like that could definitely be kind of like a returning thing. And she talks about Glenn having the other one. I feel like that could happen. So for Carly/Doug, I give 10%, and for Glenn being mentioned, I give maybe 45%. Because the walkie-talkie was a major part in the first season, so knowing that Glenn had the other one, has, and he did in the comics/show, he still had it, definitely feel like it could be mentioned. Maybe even Rick picking it up or something. I don't know, but I feel like it could definitely return. Lily's family, Larry, he's gone and he's not returning. But Lily, this is interesting. Lily was left behind, but whether she took the RV or... Okay, so what I think, if Lily did not take the RV, I feel like she'd return as a walker, because of the Horde. However, if she did take the RV, I feel like she would return, but I feel like you would see her as a body. Because she still would have went off into the Horde, but knowing that she had the RV, she could have had time to kill herself first. Mark, I wish Mark would come back. I really liked Mark, but no. School students and teachers, Stone Mountain School. Ben, I feel like Ben will be mentioned, because he was kind of the one that told them if you don't get them in the head, they'll just come back. It's like, that's kind of like how they knew about Larry and stuff. So I feel like Ben could be mentioned. So maybe I'd give or Ben rather, a 10% of mention, and Travis and David, no, because, like, Clemson, I don't even think knew about them. St. John family, they're not returning. Same with the Bandits. Jolene's family, now this is interesting. Danielle. Jolene's dead, but Danielle. I feel like Danielle will return. Or, we haven't seen her except for in a picture, but I kind of feel like you will see Danielle. Like, kind of how, like, the theory goes with 10 being Krista's daughter, or 10 being Krista's son, derp. I feel like Danielle could definitely be at the same place where 10 is. Charles, I feel like Charles could be mentioned. I give him a 5% chance of being mentioned, because I feel like a lot of characters will be mentioned. Omid and Krista. Now this is interesting, because with the theory going on that 10 is Krista's son, like Omid, I give Omid a 40% chance of being mentioned, but with Krista, I actually give Krista a 40% chance of returning. Or, no, actually, with there being possibly 2 characters returning, and only 1 being confirmed, which I'll go on about later, other than Clem and AJ, of course, I do feel like Krista could definitely be 55%, actually. Now, this is interesting. Crawford residence. Logan, he's dead. I don't want to even see Logan. Anna, I feel like Anna's dead. She probably got killed. But Molly, I feel like Molly could return. So while Molly has like Krista has like 55% chance of returning, I feel like Molly's chance of returning might actually be 45. Molly and Krista are my main ones I think are returning. I don't feel like any of the cancer support group will return. This is interesting now though. Vince, 400 days. The bus, none of these guys are returning. But Vince, I feel like Vince, since he was like the first 400 days character. I feel like Vince might come back. I give him a 15% chance. Russell also 15%. Nate, I feel like he might be a 5% chance. Same with Eddie being 5%. Wyatt being 15%. Bonnie, Leland, and Dee are 0% chance in my opinion. Roman and Stephanie, 0% chance. Shell and Becca, both 15% chance. Walt and Jean, or Jen, whatever, Gian, 0%, and Roberto, 0%. Now, Season 2, Michelle, 0%. Ralph, Victor, Winston, all those guys, 0% chance. Luke, I feel like he has, maybe, 45% chance of being mentioned. Because he was a really main character. And up to that, I feel like if he's mentioned, there's a 5% chance of Nick, 15% of Nick, 5% of Peter. Of course, Sarah and Carlos, definitely not. Maybe Sarah, I'm going to give like a 1% chance of being mentioned. Rebecca and Alvin, I give them a 15%, a 50 actually percent of being mentioned. Because AJ is still going to be there. I feel like your Rebecca and Alvin are going to be brought up. Sarita, no. Walter, no. Matthew, no. This is interesting. Tavia, maybe 15%. And Mike, I give Mike a 40% chance of returning, because his death scene was cut off, and also I feel like he could return. 0% for these guys. Tasha, he did. Arvo. Honestly, I think Arvo will come back. I give him a 45% chance, and if he does come back, I feel like he'll be dead. Like possibly as like a body or a walker. Or if he does come back, he's probably going to get killed by Clem. Now, the rest of season 2, I'm giving a 0% chance. Michonne, we know she's alive. Because it's based on the comics, Michonne is still alive. Probably, I think. I haven't read comics. Not really, actually. I know stuff about the comics, but I haven't read them. So Michonne, I give 15%. But everyone else, I give like a... I'm not gonna even going on about the rest of that. Javi, it's apparently confirmed that his family isn't returning, but I feel like Javi could be 15%, and his rest of his family. Javi 25%, his rest of his family 15%. Other than Gabe, David 5%, Kate 10%, and Gabe 15%. Joan or Clint, I feel like they have maybe 15% chance of returning. Who didn't just get shot, you'll end up killing them. I feel like Paul will be mentioned. Prescott. Eleanor, I give her a 1% chance. Same with Conrad, actually. Jesus is actually confirmed to be returning. So 100% chance for Jesus. Now, animals and walkers, I don't feel like are gonna be. Nah, I just don't feel like that will happen. Wait, Crawford. Oh, Crawford. I was just confused about who Crawford was. But yeah, that is what I think will happen. If you guys agree, let me know. And I will see every one of you guys next time. Bye, guys. Oh, wait, wrong thing. Bye, guys.